So hello guys, today we will discuss about what is netting. So it's a way to map multiple private address inside a local network to a public address before transferring the information onto the internet. So let's get one example. To go to internet we need to get an public IP address and it is unique all over the world. If each host in the world required a unique public IP address, we would have run out of IP address years ago. But by using network address translation, that is netting, we can save lots of IP addresses for later uses. We can understand NAT like this. NAT allows a host that does not have valid registered IP address to communicate with other hosts through the internet. For example, your computer is assigned a private IP addresses. So let's get an example of private IP address, that is 10.0.9, and of course this address cannot be routed on the internet, but you can still access the internet. This is because your router or modem, that is translate this address into public address. Let's get one example of IP, that is 123.12.23.1. Before routing your data into the internet, of course, when your router receives a reply packet destination for 123.12.23.1, it will convert back to your private IP 10.0.9 before sending the packet to you. Let's take another example. Suppose your company has 50 employees, but your internet service provider ISP only gives you 5 public IP addresses. It means that you can only allow 5 hosts to access the internet at the same time. Here NAT comes to save your life. So one thing you should notice that in real life, not all of your employees uses internet at the same time. Maybe 5 of them uses internet to read newspaper at the morning. 5 others use the internet checking mail or other works at afternoon. By using NAT, you can dynamically assign these 5 public IP addresses to those who really need them at that time. So this is called dynamic NAT. But the above NAT solution does not solve all over problem completely, because in some days there can be 5 people surfing a web at the morning. In this case, only the first 5 people can access internet, other must wait to their turn. So another problem is in fact, that is your ISP only gives you much lesser IP address than the number 5, because each public IP is very precious. Now to solve two problems, another features of NAT can be used: NAT overload, or sometimes called port address translation, that is PAT, permits multiple users on local area network to map to single IP addresses with different port numbers. Therefore, it's also known as port address translation, that is PAT. When using PAT, the router maintains unique source port numbers on the inside global IP address, or to distinguish between translation. In live screen, you can see this. In the below example, each host is assigned to same public IP address, that is 123.1. But with different port numbers. So the outside host IP address can also be changed with NAT. The outside global address represents the outside hosts with public IP address that can use for routing in the public internet. The last term, outside local address, is private address of external device, as it referred to by device on its local. You can understand how outside local address as inside local address or of the external device which lies at the other end of the internet. So therefore, there are two types of NAT translation, that is dynamic and static NAT, designed to allow one-to-one mapping. One-to mapping, okay, allows one-to-one mapping between local and global address. This flavor requires you to have one real internet IP address for every host on your network, and dynamic NAT designed to map an unregistered IP address to registered IP address. From this, you don't have to statically configure your router to map an inside to an outside address as in static NAT, but you do have to have enough real IP address for everyone who wants to send packets through the internet. So, and what is PAT? That is NAT overloading, is also kind of dynamic NAT that maps multiple private IP addresses to single public IP addresses by using different ports. Static NAT and dynamic NAT both require a one-to-one mapping from the inside local to the inside global address. By using PAT, you can thousands of users connect to the internet using only one real global IP address. PAT is a technology that helps not run out public IP addresses on the internet. This is the most popular type of NAT. Besides, NAT gives you the option to advertise only single address for your entire network to the outside world. Doing this effectively hides the internal network from the public world really well. So giving you some additional security for network, that is NAT terms. There are so many NAT terms, so I will explain you. This is the configuration part. I will explain you when the doing the firewall live configuration. So thank you for watching my video. So please, you are new on this channel, please subscribe my channel. Okay, so thank you guys.